Welcome to learning activity number 2. You have 3 primary objectives for this learning activity, and as you see, I go through all of the details of kind of what you're expected to look for. You will join the NSTA, which is the National Science Teachers Association. You can do that as a monthly membership. It's fine however you choose to do that. I think you can do it per month. You just need access to most of the resources that are in there. So as you scroll down through, you see the checklist again. You'll have group assignments posted sometime early in learning activity number 2. This will be who you will work with on the small group discussions. You'll probably have another group later on for your semester project, but they will be mentioned and listed in a different spot. So as we scroll down looking at the learning activity, everything you see will be overview of the learning activity. So let's look at the directions first. And as we scroll through, I would suggest reading over all of these. It says read this first, then explore the framework. And once you go through this, if you can't access it on one of these two, I've given you an alternative for where you can find it. Some of them require that you pay to view, and I don't want you to have to do that. So the same content can be found in another spot, and that's what I've tried to share with you. So as you go through this, I would probably take some notes about what's making sense and how you're understanding stuff. Then I'd like for you to choose one of these readings for the JSTE. I've given you 3. There's access in, they're linked in the learning activity. But once you've done that, then I also want you to read this one. This should tie it all together, I think. Once all of this has been done, you can make your post to the discussion board, or you can have your group hangout. Remember that if you are doing traditional, you need to post prior to the last 4 days. That tries to give people a little bit of time to respond, and it gives you ample time to get things done. If you are in a hangout group, the person who's taking notes will also be responsible for writing up a synthesis. Both of these things get posted to the discussion board. All right, so that's the main part of this learning activity. So I'm going to scroll back up and take to learning activity number 2 again and see what else we've got. Okay, so that takes care of pretty much everything within the first 1, 2, 3 sections. Well, then I'm going to look down here at the library. I mentioned that you had to join NSTA. Once you become a member, these are 2 things that you're going to, I guess, kind of explore. This is the actual assignment that you're going to look at, and then this is a video that shows you how to navigate the 2 different websites. There's an old version and a new version. I've showed both of them because one of them is easier for me to follow. It may not be for you. You have that option. All right, so if I'm looking over here on the side again, one other thing that I want you to actually look at is the information about the semester project. If you recall, you had a choice for buying a book or not buying a book. This video walks you through the whole project, but if you click on this, it takes you through, just kind of introduces you a little bit more to it. Sorry about that. I would ask that you take a minute to review the options, review the exemplars. You can find more information about the semester project in the assignments section. I'll show you where that is again in a second, but just read through, figure out which one you want to do. There's a self-study topic, and then there's the review of a curriculum. If you choose the review of the curriculum, these are the 3 books that you would choose from. You need to make your decision on this during learning activity number 2 so that you can get the book and start working on the project. Okay. So those are things that you need to look over and make sure you're familiar with and doing. And things to turn in. So your discussion for learning activity 2, this may be the last thing that you actually do. Your Learning Center library. That needs to be posted as a Dropbox assignment. your top 3, this is a discussion. If you click on this, I think it might be able to expand, view topic. There's some information. You don't have to respond to people on this one, okay? Sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't. I'll usually give you some insight on what you have to respond to. So example, learning activity 2. This is if you're a traditional group. This is if you're a hangout group. All right. And then more details about how you sign up for everything and what you need to look for. And student questions and concerns. If you have any questions about this learning activity or anything else, please make sure you post in this forum. Others may have the answer and be able to respond to you immediately. If not, I will do it as soon as I can. And you have, I think this is a 2-week learning activity. I may be incorrect, but there will be a due date. And you just make sure it's turned in by that. It'll be at the top of the page. So, hope this helps.